You are alone. The blue light of your smartphone reflects in your eyes, and for the 10th time tonight, you check for a notification. A message arrives, a trivial request, a low-value question, or perhaps just a. Within seconds, your thumbs are moving. You reply. You explain. You justify. You are there. You are always there. You believe this makes you reliable. You believe this makes you a good man or a valuable friend. But in the hidden shadows of human psychology, you are committing the ultimate sin, the sin of absolute availability. Availability is not a virtue. It is a devaluation of your existence. In the harsh reality of social dynamics, you are currently acting as a public utility, like the sidewalk or the streetlights. You are taken for granted because your presence is guaranteed. No one thanks the air they breathe until they are suffocating. No one values the water from the tap until the well runs dry. By being reachable at all hours, by answering every call on the first ring, and by being the first to show up to every mediocre gathering, you have signaled to the world that your time has a market value of 0. Consider the diamond paradox. If diamonds were as common as pebbles on a driveway, we would use them to pave our roads. We would crush them under our tires and sweep them into the gutter. The only reason a diamond commands a fortune, the only reason it is protected by armored glass and laser sensors, is because it is unreachable for the masses. It is scarce. It is difficult to acquire. You, however, have made yourself a pebble. You have allowed every person with a smartphone to have instant access to your thoughts, your energy, and your attention. You have become a spectator in your own life, waiting for the ping of a notification to tell you when to move. This constant presence is a biological trap. The modern world has weaponized your tribal instinct to belong. In the ancestral past, being excluded from the tribe meant death. Therefore, your brain is wired to respond to social signals immediately. But the digital age has turned this survival mechanism into a leash. Your presence has been digitized and sold. Every time you provide instant access to yourself, you are handing over a piece of your sovereignty. You are telling the world, my goals, my focus, and my peace are less important than your minor convenience. Lust, as we discussed before, is a parasite of the body, but over-availability is a parasite of the soul. It leaks your masculine energy pixel by pixel, minute by minute. You feel drained, not because you are working hard, but because you are on call for a world that does not respect you. You are a slave to the expectations of people who wouldn't spend 5 minutes at your funeral. To break this, you must first accept a cold, hard truth. Respect is not earned by being helpful. It is earned by being rare. Power does not come from being at the table. It comes from being the person the table is waiting for. Until you learn to withdraw, until you learn to close the gates and let the world wonder where you went, you will remain a tool in the hands of others. You are not a conqueror, you are a commodity. And commodities are always replaced the moment a cheaper version becomes available. Today, we stop being a commodity. Today, we begin the process of withdrawal. To master the power of being unreachable, you must think like an economist of the soul. There is a fundamental law in nature that governs everything from the price of gold to the intensity of romantic attraction. The law of diminishing marginal utility. This law states that the more you have of something, the less pleasure or value you derive from each additional unit. The first bite of a steak is heaven. The 50th bite makes you sick. Your presence follows this exact same curve. If people see you every day, hear from you every hour, and know your every thought, the utility of your presence drops until you become a burden. A social noise that people wish they could mute. The Machiavellian master understands that attention is the most valuable currency in the universe. It is more valuable than money, for money can be printed, but attention is a finite portion of a human life. When you make yourself unreachable, you are essentially delisting your stock from the public exchange. You are creating a supply shock. Think of the most high-status individuals in history. They did not hold press conferences every hour. They did not stream their breakfast. They lived behind high walls and heavy curtains. They understood that to be common is to be conquered. Modern society has tricked you into believing that transparency is a virtue. They tell you to be authentic, to be open, and to be connected. This is a lie designed to make you easier to manage. A transparent man is a predictable man. A predictable man is a controlled man. When you are unreachable, you become a black box. No one knows what is going on inside. No one knows your next move. This lack of information creates a psychological tension in others called cognitive dissonance. They cannot fit you into a neat little box in their mind. So they are forced to dedicate more mental energy to thinking about you. You must realize that your availability is actually a form of social cowardice. You are afraid that if you don't answer, you will be forgotten. You are afraid that if you aren't at the party, the world will move on without you. This fear is what keeps you small. The truth is the opposite. The world only moves toward the man who looks like he doesn't need it. By withdrawing your attention from the world, you force the world to bid for your attention. Start treating your time like a venture capitalist treats a seed investment. You don't just give it away to anyone with a pitch. You protect it. You vet the recipients. When someone messages you, they are asking for a piece of your life. Why are you giving it away for free? Strategic scarcity means that when you finally do appear, when you finally do speak, your words carry the weight of a mountain. Because you haven't spoken in 3 days, your one sentence is worth more than the 1,000 sentences of the man who never shuts up. You are shifting from the quantity of interaction to the quality of impact. You are training the people around you to realize that an hour of your time is a rare event, an honor to be earned, not a right to be claimed. This is how you stop being a servant and start being a sovereign. The most powerful word in the human language is not yes, love, or God. It is no. Yet, for the average man, it is the hardest word to speak. You have been socialized to be a pleaser. You have been told that no is aggressive, that it is rude, that it is selfish. But in the realm of power, no is your primary defensive shield. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you are saying no to your own goals, your own peace, and your own masculine frame. You are allowing others to colonize your schedule. To be unreachable is to be a master of the void. When someone asks for your time and you decline without a lengthy justification, you create a vacuum of power. Most people, when they say no, start rambling. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'd love to come, but my dog is sick and I have this work thing, and maybe next time. This is the language of a subordinate seeking permission. A Machiavellian master does not seek permission. He simply states the boundary. I cannot make it. No explanation. No apology. The lack of an excuse is what makes the no powerful. It leaves the other person wondering why. It signals that your reasons are your own and are not up for public debate. This is what we call the reframing of disgust. You must begin to look at your past, people, pleasing, behavior with a sense of internal loathing. See it for what it was, a desperate crawl for validation. When you feel the urge to be helpful at the expense of your own mission, visualize the suba of that act. See the weakness, the trembling need to be liked, the parasite of social approval feeding on your dignity. Once you find that behavior disgusting, you will never return to it. Saying no makes you dangerous. If you always say yes, your yes means nothing. It is a foregone conclusion. But when you are a man who is known for his no, people treat your yes like a victory. They will work harder to please you. They will be more careful with your time. You are teaching the world how to treat you by setting a high price for entry. Furthermore, the power of the void applies to your emotional state. Being unreachable means people cannot get a rise out of you. If someone insults you or tries to bait you into an argument, and you remain unreachable, emotionally cold and unresponsive, you win by default. They are throwing punches into a fog. They exhaust themselves while you remain untouched. Your silence is a mirror that reflects their own insecurity back at them. By refusing to engage, you maintain your high ground position. You are the architect who stays in the tower while the peasants shout at the walls. Remember, the goal of being unreachable is not just to be absent, but to be uncontrollable. A man who can say no and walk away without a backward glance is the most terrifying man in any room. He is the only one who is truly free. He cannot be bribed with social status, he cannot be moved by guilt, and he cannot be manipulated by the need for belonging. He is his own tribe. He is his own law. By mastering the currency of no, you are not just protecting your time, you are protecting your soul from the mediocre masses who wish to pull you down to their level. Now we reach the final and most critical layer of the Machiavellian mind. You must understand that being unreachable is not a social gimmick. It is not a trick to make people text you back faster. If you are hiding just to get attention, you are still a slave to that attention. You are still playing a game where other people are the judges. To truly master strategic scarcity, your absence must be filled with something more powerful than their presence. It must be filled with your mission. This is the fortress of focused work. Throughout history, every man of true power, from the Stoic emperors to the modern titans of industry, had a sanctum. This was a place and a time where the world was legally dead to them. When Nikola Tesla was deep in his experiments, the world did not exist. When Marcus Aurelius was writing his meditations by the Danube River, the politics of Rome were a distant whisper. They were unreachable because they were occupied with a higher frequency. Your problem is that you're unreachable. State is often empty. You turn off your phone, but you sit there wondering who is calling you. That is not power, that is a diet. You must feast on your own ambition. When you close the gates, you are not missing out on the world. You are building a world that others will eventually beg to enter. You are transmuting the energy you used to waste on being available into the cold, hard steel of competence. If you vanish for 6 months and reappear with a stronger body, a sharper mind, and a doubled income, your absence becomes a legend. People will realize you weren't hiding, you were ascending. This is the identity shift. You must kill the version of you that felt a twitch of guilt for not being helpful. You must perform a funeral for the nice guy who lived in your skin. That version of you was a shadow, a ghost seeking warmth from the fires of other people's approval. The new version of you, the architect, doesn't need their fire because he is the sun. As we conclude this journey, look at the power of the void. One last time. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of potential. When you are unreachable, you are a coiled spring. You are a predator in the tall grass. The world is loud, desperate, and increasingly cheap. Everyone is shouting for a like, a share, or a follow. Everyone is selling their soul for a moment of being noticed. By choosing to be unreachable, you are opting out of the race of the mediocre. You are declaring that your life is not a public park for others to walk through. It is a private estate. You are the king in the shadows. You don't need to shout your name because the silence you leave behind screams for you. You are no longer a man who can be summoned. You are a man who must be sought. The next time your phone vibrates with a low-value distraction, don't just ignore it. Look at it, feel the urge to reply, and then feel the protective disgust we spoke of. Realize that by not replying, you are gaining a unit of power. You are keeping your gold in the vault. Let them wait. Let them wonder. Let them realize that your presence is a privilege, not a right. The gates are now closed. The world is outside. You are inside, where the real work begins. Silence is your new language. Scarcity is your new value. Absence is your new strength. Welcome to the fortress. So, what is the ultimate truth of being unreachable? It is not about being a ghost or playing games with people's minds. It is about reclaiming your sovereignty. We live in an age of the transparent man, a man who is so connected that he has no center. He is like a leaf blown by the wind of every notification, every trend, and every social expectation. By choosing to be unreachable, you are choosing to be the root, not the leaf.